Well, first of all, I have that Jordan would like to call me Alan AU, and my last name is pronounced as Au, Alan Au.
Alan Al. Well, we always thought it was AU as in gold or something. I thought it was a play on the word gold, but Alan Al.
Yes, yes. So I'm based out in Hong Kong, but before COVID, I would travel quite a bit to Canada because we have a lot of business interests over there. And I was educated in Hong Kong and the UK and the US. I did my undergraduate at Princeton and got my MBA at Stanford. And then I worked for a high-tech company in California for a few years before returning back to Hong Kong to work for my family. So I don't really trade crypto, so to speak, but I got attracted to space because of Jordan, really. So how I got connected with CTM is quite it's quite a story, but I started watching growth stock videos back last year in May, and Jordan's videos keep on popping up on YouTube. And I would look at the time, it's like it's live stream, so it's more than an hour. So I don't really watch them, but I kept on seeing that. So I checked out one of the shorter ones, it's a recap one back in June. And I really liked the intro, the head snack intro. It's kind of wonky and but it's very good vibe. So I got attracted to it, and so I went through the whole thing. And Jordan had a way to describe the macro environment and then go into TA and stuff, and I found it very intriguing. So I watched the whole thing, and he covered all the different markets very succinctly. So I started following him, and after a while, I became a subscriber. But I didn't really watch the live streams until really later down the road, and like in October, and it was quite interesting. And I think last year around July 4th, and then Jordan like posted a video, a photo of his family on YouTube, and I saw that and thought, a guy who loved kids so much must be a good man, and it's put out really good content. So I thought I think I have helped this guy. So I started commenting on his videos and also liking them. So that's how I got connected to CDM. But I really don't know what it is, but just keep watching the videos and got a recap. And it really didn't until October last year when I started watching the live streams, and it's quite an experience. Then my wife would be asking me, why were you nailing yourself on your computer watching what are you watching about? And then I showed her what I'm watching, and she said, well you should really pay attention. So that's how it got started, and I got really hooked to it. And about before I started tweeting, I used to follow Andrew Yang. He was running for president. He's the first Asian American running for president. So, and then it dropped out of the race in February 2020. And then I realized that Jordan is actually on Twitter. So I started following him, and I started tweeting out little bits of stuff about Bitcoin and something about growth stocks, and sometimes I heard back from him. So we got connected closer. And then one time I saw a tweet from Raoul Pal, and I remember Jordan was saying something that Raoul was saying at that time, is that well, Jordan got that a long time ago. So and then Jordan saw my tweet, and then he shared that on his live stream. So and he started sharing my tweets, and I was really kind of surprised because I'm kind of like a nobody on Twitter, but Jordan would do that, and I really appreciate that. So I started tweeting more, and you see, Bitcoin is the most important trade according to Jordan. So I started digging deep into it. I mean, Jordan is really the one who convinced me about Bitcoin.
Okay.
Back in 2017, our IT company got a very small investment in mining Bitcoin. We bought 50 M miners
Oh wow.
and started doing that. We were making good money, but then the market crashed. So we have to shut it down because the electricity cost is way too high. So I didn't really think Bitcoin is worth investing because it's so volatile.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jordan was really big into that, and I saw his video and it really convinced me. He made a very convincing case about why we should invest in Bitcoin. And back then, Bitcoin was only $9,000, and it was showing that the price target is 160,000. It's such a asymmetric trade, and I think I really need to get into it. So it got me into the rabbit hole. I started reading more about Bitcoin, and that's how it all got started. So
Wow. Well, that's awesome that that it was Jordan that pulled you into the space. And since then, I mean, your Twitter handle has kind of exploded as far as I like. You've got over 4K followers now because you put out some really cool stuff, and I appreciate the work you do. So I was looking at like your back on March 1st, you had where it was in your tweet, stream of tweets here, but the R hodl ratio. So you've been digging in, I guess, to on-chain metrics a little bit.
yeah, I used to follow CryptoQuant and Glassnode. CryptoQuant used to have pretty good stuff, and then that one time I don't even remember. That one time CryptoQuant was tweeting like, I think that BlockFi was sending a large bunch of Bitcoins to an address, and it said every time somebody's do or Gemini, whatever, and it signals the whales will be selling, and then trigger a response, and the market then dump Bitcoin after that tweet. So comparing the two, I think Glassnode is better, and Willy Woo is following Glassnode as well, and they kind of got into a heated exchange about who's right and who's wrong, and it's pretty interesting. But so I now I follow Willy on Glassnode and they're on Trend Metrics and the analysis. They put out a weekly and monthly newsletter, and they're very useful. So yeah, I'm following the on-chain metrics and to keep track of what's going on as well.
Yeah. So this was a tweet. You had a whole series of tweets about how we had a negative return for April. So on the chart, it's a monthly red candle, but we had negative return for the month of April. Traditionally, May is a little bit better month. Now, I personally think this whole trying to track which month is good and which month is bad in Bitcoin is going to get a lot of people completely messed up because it's going to be all over the place. It's more cyclical than it is predictable. That's my opinion of it. But your follow-up tweets were just fantastic. So let me ask you this though, just about you. And I'll, as I go through this, I'm trying to understand a little bit more about, so you have a background, you were educated at Princeton. Do you have a background, I'm guessing, in technology and probably in business?
Yeah, I have an engineering background, electrical engineering and computer science.
Okay.
So I like kind of math and stuff like that. So
yeah, those are not easy degrees. The EE one, that's congrats on that. That's a beast. Okay, so you have a comp sci and EE, and you have some background in tech, and then you have some family business interests that you're managing. You were interested in growth stocks. So were you more of a macro investor, growth oriented, equities, or what was it before you got involved with CTM?
I was into growth stocks because everybody wants extraordinary returns. So, and back then, after Power Tweet doing like infinite QE, I think there's too much money floating around. So growth stock would be an area to focus on. So I got into Tesla and some of the growth names. And now I'm basically narrowing my position to just Tesla and a few names like Square and Pinterest, and that's it. And my all my position is really into Bitcoin now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you. I still have a few equities myself that I have my tent pole, like what I consider my steady as you go. I've got like midstream energy and Starbucks and things like that and Google. But for the most part, I'm with you. I'm in just heavy growth, Shop, Square, stuff like that. And otherwise, I pulled almost everything out too, and I'm mostly in crypto myself. But um, that's interesting that you took kind of the same path. And I would imagine that if certain growth equities take a big hit, say this fall or winter, we have another like 10-20% correction. Are you going to be looking to put maybe some of your returns in crypto in growth equities if the valuations are appropriate, or you feel like it's a good opportunity to enter, or are you just going to stick you're going to try to stay in the crypto space or other spaces? I'm just curious, what your general philosophy is.
Well, I kind of I would still have some position in stocks like Tesla if I believe in the company, but I agree with Jordan. Like after the Bitcoin kind of run its way to the peak and then enters bear cycle, then I would sell my Bitcoin and try to put it into a stable coin and accumulate interest on BlockFi. And then at appropriate time, then maybe enter the trade like this gold BTC trade and try to accumulate more Bitcoin and ride out the bear market and then wait for the next cycle.
Okay, so you're going to keep it pretty much in crypto. You're going to stay in stable coins. So for me, I'll do a portion of mine. I'm going to leave a portion of mine in stable coins. I'll take a portion out. I'm going to put it in real assets, real estate or businesses or whatever interest I might be into, whatever is attractive at the time. A portion of it will go to bullion, gold, and then maybe different trades on gold. But I'm going to diversify out of that, try to get returns over the next year or two, and then bring it back into crypto when the time is right. That's personally what I'm going to do. But I think it's a smart strategy. You're right. It's going to be a really strong strategy just to collect interest on a stable coin and wait for the next cycle. If that's all you do, you're going to do really well. Okay, well, that's good to know. So we're kind of on the same page there as far as our core strategy. Now, so let's out of curiosity here, just again, and before getting into working with CTM and the tweets that you put out, so you're not actively in forex trading, or you just been predominantly a growth investor where you just buy and hold growth?
Yeah. See, I think what really Jordan did was he showed me like how to do TA. I didn't really get into CTM, so to speak. Didn't join a course, but Jordan is putting out so much great content, and he showed me like how to do cloning of trend lines, and I never know how that is done before, and he made everything look so easy, right? Obviously, it's nothing like that, but and then he also in one of the videos he showed people how to use the true trend indicator. And I kind of develop a method using that to trade stocks on the 1 hour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just looking at the to kind of don't really. It's not modifying, but just using what he showed us and then apply to stocks, and it kind of worked.
So you still doing stock trading then?
No, but I didn't really trade. So I just want to find the right spot to buy.
Okay,
so yeah. I believe in the stock, and then I say find the right entry for Tesla or for Pinterest, and I would use that strategy, and it's worked out pretty well. I don't really trade in and out, so to speak, and I just buy and hold, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Well, so you're using the true trend to help you find good entries.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these tweets that you had. So May 1st, I brought them up before, and I decided I wanted to ask more about your background before we got into this. So yeah, I mean, obviously we see on the halving, this is the halving tracker chart? I can't remember where you got this one from exactly, but it's
from halving tracker, the
Twitter handle.
From what the tweeting handle, yes.
Yeah, and see what I find fascinating, you highlighted it here, that we had like this double dip here this particular cycle, and this is what threw a lot of us off, including me. I got a little bit faked out here because the third higher high, I thought we were going to put this impulse up here first and then this other retrace. Like, you know, where my mouse is right now, I thought we were going to do this after that third higher high. I thought we were going to do this and then retrace, but we retraced first. So just goes to show you, you have to stay on your toes, because just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it has to happen in the future. And so nothing, but you highlighted that here in this tweet. Last recap, didn't have a good month as expected, hit the lows. I thought the second dip blue corresponded to those of the second cycle, but that wasn't it, right? So yeah, so it faked a lot of us out. This blue dip we all thought was okay, maybe it was this one, and we were headed for a leg up. So I thought that was good that you brought that out.
Yeah, because in the March, I think the early April trade, I said we may see a 80 to 90,000 price target, but that didn't happen because I didn't see that at all coming. And I mean, Jordan was really good at saying I could like figure out in my head and see where we're at, but I was just looking at the number of days after the halving and use that to see where we're at. And actually this cycle is going much faster than I've expected.
Yeah.
So
same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the cycle, and this cycle is going to be, you know, all three of these are completely different. I mean, they rhyme, but the details about when they sell off, and they're all completely different. When they peak are all completely different. So we're going to have that same variance again here. Although I did notice, I don't think I knew this before, the 2016 average lines up really close to the 2012 peak. That's interesting. Okay. So the next thing that you post on here was this, and Jordan showed these charts a bunch. I think the blue line is kind of the average of the two. But we're looking at limited downside. I think is the main thing I take away from this chart, is that we're looking at a good amount of upside with limited downside. So you're talking about a good time to enter. You know, right about now, any dips from here on out is a really good time to enter. Very small downside and a pretty nice upside. But we're going to have another major correction. I think that's the other main takeaway. You can see it on all these charts. You know, we're likely to have another, you know, pretty big correction at some point here. And I've talked a lot about the 120-day SMA. I think that's a good place to watch for a potential bottom. And we got it this last time. It may not happen again the next time, but so I thought. And then you had another really good in this tweet thread. This one right here. This is the best one. You know, this is what I've been seeing and I've been saying, but you put it very, very succinctly here that, you know, miners are not selling but accumulating. And this is our holdaway, as we can see that this wave pattern is still playing out. We're still early in the wave pattern. Thoughts on that?
Well, typically there are like 3 peaks and we're just on the very first one. So there's still a lot of room for growth in terms of price for Bitcoin. And yeah, this one is showing like those speculators are selling, but the hodlers are really buying and buy the dip and hodling. So they have many good charts. I just pulled out a few good ones to summarize the key points of where we're at in the cycle. So those are really good ones.
Yeah, those are really good. Yeah, this is really good. So obviously, if you guys are watching, I'm going to edit this video to the fact. I will put a link to Jordan's site. And well, there's already one on the. Anything pressing I need to do Saturday morning? Then we could plan on a Saturday morning special live stream, and we could do that maybe. Which would be Saturday night for you, I think, right? Or is that Friday night for you?
Saturday morning would be.
What's the day for you right now? I know it's nighttime.
Right now it's what time is it? Oh, we just passed. Now it's now the 5th. It's now the 5th. Yeah.
So you're a day, yeah. So
just past midnight, yeah.
It's the 5th.
13 hours ahead. Yeah.
It's the 3rd for me. It's 11 a.m. on the 3rd.
Oh, today's Monday. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's the 4th. Yeah.
I was like, what? You're like on Mars or something. You're like, damn. You're 2 days ahead of us. If you could just like tweet what's happening with Bitcoin's prices, we'll get rich over here on this side. And I'll send you.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's plan on then that would be Saturday night for you. Would that work? A late Saturday night?
Yeah.
Late Saturday morning for me?
Yeah.
Then maybe
Oh,
let's
that
plan
would-
on trying to do that the 8th. I will send you a message and I'll send you another Zoom invite for the morning of the 8th, if
Okay.
that works for you. And that'd be your
Yeah.
nighttime for you. And we can get on about 15 minutes early, prep, and then we can go live whenever we feel like we're ready.
Cool. Yeah.
All right,
Sounds
man.
good.
Well, thanks.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. It's awesome to
Good.
meet you
Same here.
over
Nice to meet
Zoom.
you.
Take
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. You take care. Thanks a lot. Okay. See you.